Hi guys, welcome to EAA AirVenture 2023. We're here at the Flying Eyes booth, and I don't know where Dan and Christy are. I guess they've run off to the flight line or something. So here we are hosting the show, and on this episode, we're gonna find out what it takes to keep warbirds and all birds flying. I'm Chelsea Smith, AMP-IA and commercial pilot, working on a lot of hours and ratings, but I am sitting with someone who I greatly admire and look up to. In a lot of ways, I hope a future version of myself. It's a real treat and a real pleasure. This is Mike Porter, also known as Steerman Mike. He's rebuilt 27 of them, every last nut and bolt by hand, along with many, many, many other Warbirds types, makes, and models. A lot of them that you will see flying here at the show. I'll let you introduce yourself and talk about your ratings because it is impressive.
Well, my name's Mike Porter. I live in East Liverpool, Ohio. It's outside of Pittsburgh at an airport as 02 Gulf identifier. I have a CFII, MEI, AMP, IA, parachute rigger with back seat and chest ratings. So we've got a few ratings behind our belt and some experience. About 9,000 hours flying time, 5,000 in Stearman's, and about 8,500 of its tailwheel.
And you said one time you'd flown how many different serial number Stearmans?
I'm up to 201.
Wow. Wow. So you know them well.
They're a very good airplane. They all have little personalities.
As with all of the birds that we fly. So thank you for joining me. I think a lot of the questions that I have kind of center around, they say this year is the year of the Warbird, but I think that's every year here at AirVenture.
At least it is in my world. The phone never stops ringing for me.
Yeah.
Hence why I left and got here on Wednesday, because I wanted to make sure I got here before somebody called saying my plane's broken. Fix it.
You snuck on out of town.
Yep.
Very fun. So how long have you been working on Warbirds planes in general, and how did you get into specializing?
Well, I grew up around aviation. My first word was plane, pointing at a Stearman biplane. My mom wasn't too happy about that at the time. But my dad always flew. He was an ATP as well. He had fix-up Cessna 180, that type thing. He would do as much as he could as a pilot, aircraft owner, under the supervision of an AMP. I grew up watching this. I always thought it was a neat thing and a natural thing to go do. Oh, we go to the airport every weekend and we work on this, clean it up, fix up an airplane, keep it a while, flip it, get another one, start the process all over again. He's also a CFI. He taught me to fly. I sold on my 16th birthday in a Stearman. Shocking.
Wow.
License 17. I actually, New Jersey driver's license, you get your driver's license at 17. I had my pilot's license the week prior.
Wow.
So that was kind of fun. It's just been something I've always been 100% driven, obsessed with. It's 24/7 that. Every book, every manual, every blueprint, more information.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways, keeping Warbirds going, it takes someone who is that dedicated, that is that passionate. There aren't as many resources for keeping them flying. Sourcing parts can be a huge roadblock and pain to keeping these things flying. Do you experience that a lot?
Oh, very much so. And since COVID, with the excuses of supply chain shortage, people having a hard time finding other employees that will come to work and things like that, with suppliers of aircraft accessories, magnetos, starters, rebuilds, things like that. I mean, I know of one shop, he told me 2 months ago he had 900 items back ordered on.
Wow.
That he had to get out. So
yeah.
It can be an issue. It's a bit of a treasure hunt. You better enjoy that part. I actually think that's fun. Second somebody tells me, oh, you'll never find that part. Oh, now that's the mission, and I'll find two.
Yeah.
That's a goal. So that's, you have to be very tenacious, have a lot of patience, always be willing to ask questions, read a manual, whatever it takes. Information is king. It is out there. You just got to keep asking.
And for me, it's finding people like you in the industry to find the inspiration, help navigate where those resources are. It is a different world, and maintenance has a million different rabbit holes, like most sectors of aviation in general, but especially maintenance. And there are so many different things to specialize on. and so many different avenues and routes. And I think that in a lot of ways, what I'm seeing with new graduates, and I am not too far off from being a new graduate.
I'll give
but-
yourself more credit than that.
Yeah, but I see new graduates going straight to the airlines. And I'm really concerned with, yes, we have this aging fleet and the hook line of let's keep them flying, keep the Warbirds, but keep all birds flying. But with so many people going straight out of A&P school to the airlines, are you concerned with the, kind of nature and temperature of the maintenance industry in general, and especially in the Warbird sector?
We have a very large looming problem. In fact, I sent you an article a couple days
Yes,
ago
you
about
did.
them starting to recognize this issue. Airlines are a fantastic career. They're not for everybody, though. Don't just choose the same path that everybody else does.
Yeah.
I encourage people, if that's what you want to go do, you may not get rich, but you will have an amazing experience and you will make a good living.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to go airlines prior to 9/11.
Yeah.
When I had that phone call, I was all set to do it. Okay, this isn't going to happen. Well, I have an A&P ticket too. At that time, I was towing banners with L-19 bird dogs on the Jersey Shore and
Yeah.
taking care of them. Well, that job was suddenly vaporized overnight, but what happened in that area, because of where we were located, we were one of the last airports to go for IFR operations and then VFR operations. So there was a lot of people sitting around with their airplane going, if I can't fly it, now's the time for the new engine.
Yeah.
Now's the time for the new interior. Let's repaint. Let's make it better. I immediately saw the opportunity. Starting out is a very hard thing to do. I actually went and approached the local shops, knowing perfectly well I couldn't afford that overhead, and I did not want to be the tailgate guy that comes in and undercuts somebody
Yeah.
that's a business. And I made them the deal of, if I come work for you as a contractor, I'm covered from the airport's aspect and them. They make the part sales, and we were all happy.
Yeah.
Because in many cases, those people with the antique airplanes also tend to have another airplane.
Yeah.
The business airplane, the one that goes everywhere, the Bonanza, the Cirrus, the Cessna. They really were doing the antique airplane a favor just by, we take care of this, guys. We would rather not do this one.
Yeah.
So I found a niche very fast.
And stuck with
I
it.
just kept growing it.
Wow.
That's where it went. I love doing fabric work. My phone is ringing off the hook for people.
Yeah.
Right now, conservatively, I'm booked 4 years out.
Wow.
Good luck finding anybody.
So
I've
if
got people
anyone needs a
begging
job,
for a fabric
becoming
work.
an A&P is a ticket that will have your
Yeah. Pick an area.
Schedule,
You
yeah.
can say, I want to do accessories, I want to do fabric work, I want to do sheet metal, I want to do composites. And you can do that for a while and say, I want to try something new. Go do it.
yeah.
You'll be way better off doing that. You will never go broke if you do that.
So can you kind of highlight the opportunities that you have found, because it's very rare to have both and to be good at both.
I'm very
Pilot
fortunate. There's a lot of work
and
with it.
mechanic. Yes, so much work, patience, time, all goes into it. But what would you tell someone who is maybe a mechanic who is interested in getting into flying, how to navigate that? Because I see that so often. These young mechanics who want to do both, but they don't know how to breach that other side. Just like the pilots that want to get somewhat involved with maintenance, there's not enough of a bridge.
If you're in general aviation as a mechanic and you want to get involved in flying, get involved with your aircraft owners. You should really be as one-on-one with those individuals as possible so you can also diagnose, troubleshoot airplane, keep it safer for them.
Yeah.
You'll have less headaches and phone calls at weird hours of the night when their plane's broken and they want to go to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
But start asking them. That's a great resource right there. And they'll say, well, go see this flight instructor at the local flight school or go here. They might even be a flight instructor and say, hey, I can help you.
yeah.
Don't be afraid to go volunteer at a local air museum. There's another fantastic opportunity. Even if you aren't into antique airplanes,
Yeah.
it's still exposure into it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways. Ask.
Yeah. So you encouraged me, actually, you're the reason that I started going after my CFI. Because you said when you have the opportunity to inspect and instruct,
Now I can teach you the animal of the airplane,
yeah,
because that is very specific, both in the maintenance side and the flying side. Every airplane has their quirks. There is no one size fits all.
just like us.
Yes.
Well, What are you most looking forward to seeing out on the flight line? I know you flew in your beautiful Stearman. We're hoping it's going to get judged for a first place.
I'm hoping. I mean, it's done very well here in the past. Actually, I have not had it here since 2017, and the clock reset on all the awards. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how it goes.
Yeah, how it holds over. So besides that plane that's so near and dear that you know inside and out, every nut and bolt, what plane would you go see right now on the flight line?
Too many shiny objects. I get distracted easy. If you want something kind of unique to go see down in Vintage, it's an airplane I was involved with the rebuild on wings and tail surface. There is a J2 Cub.
Wow.
Yellow, has 4 black stripes down the side. 667, I believe, is the tail number on it. It has a single-bladed wooden propeller on it as well.
I have always
with
wanted
no
to
brakes.
see one of those.
I've also flown it. It's freaky.
Yeah? And then people are like, oh no, he's missing part of his propeller.
It actually flies
But
very,
I've
very
heard
well.
that they are actually the most effective propeller.
It's the most
that you can
efficient
have.
design in
The most
concept.
efficient.
Practicality, I'm not sure how much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables in there because it is also by design that it's supposed to be a variable pitch propeller by the aerodynamics of the airplane.
Yeah.
It pivots on the crank. Fun things.
So fun. I could sit here and talk to you until the sun goes down and beyond. You'd find us over at SOS, but just kind of closing thoughts on what you think you would like to see in the next generation of mechanics as they move into the GA sector, because I've heard that over 50% of airplane mechanics are retiring within the next 50 months.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And a lot of them are also just getting plain tired. Whether they want to retire is another story.
Yeah.
I encourage anybody with the interest, go get involved.
Even if you don't go all the way to the AMP.
Airplane
get
owners,
involved,
go get
learn 'em.
involved. Learn about your airplane.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest things in my business I preach. I want the airplane owner there. I don't care if you say you can't mix a can of paint or turn 2 screws. You can at least be there and ask me questions.
Yeah.
Or I can tell you, okay, have you noticed this? And then they're like, why? Well, I see this in the airplane. Why are you operating it this way? Change these operating parameters and this problem goes away.
Yeah.
If you work together as a team, you're a lot better off. But I encourage, get involved any way you can, really. I mean, whether it's flying them, fixing them, a combination thereof, I feel very unique being able to do those and also teach in them.
Yeah.
It's a very unique experience.
So you've heard it here. If you want to be involved with any sector of aviation, it's about showing up, maybe start out volunteering. It really takes personal drive and a lot of time and a lot of passion. I am now 7 years in on working on pilot and maintenance ratings, and I still feel like I have so long to go. It truly is a license to learn.
Very much.
But I'm excited and nervous to see the future of maintenance. I'm hoping the encouragement that we give to pilots and plane owners to get involved will go over well. I hope that we don't make them armed and dangerous with knowledge in a lot of ways.
Well, that's also
Proceed with
part of the
caution.
job as you as a mechanic helping the owner understand his animal. You also have to help him understand there are things you shouldn't be doing,
Yeah.
but you can be more observant of your
Yeah.
airplane. So that helps the process tremendously.
I hope to see the bridge gapped a lot better between pilots and mechanics moving forward.
It needs to be, really,
Yeah.
at the end of the day. But I encourage everybody, learn as much as you can. Even if you don't necessarily go to a full rating, it's knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And then when you're working on your ratings, if you go, like I said to you, go get your multi, go get your CFI, and try and keep moving on them. Don't let too much time lapse because
Yeah.
life gets in the way.
Always find the next rating and start working on
All the ratings
it.
I did, I had them stacked.
Yeah.
I actually graduated high school 2 years early. I did the AMP, so by the time I was 18, I had my AMP ticket in my hand, and I was already through a commercial rating.
Wow.
And then, okay, now I want to do the multi-ad. Now I want to do the CFI. So at 21, I had all those ratings.
Wow. That
No
is
other life,
incredible.
but that is life. It's fun. Enjoy the process. That's the other
Yeah.
thing. And don't be afraid to start saying, what can I do to help? If it's as simple as pushing a broom taking and cleaning her out the airplane with a rag, whatever it is, you're still there, you're involved. It will happen. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, and if you show up to push a broom,
Oh, they'll love you.
You better believe that within a few days, they will have you handing them a wrench and then taking this apart. And it just progresses. But finding a way to break into that part of the industry, if you're at all interested, because we need people so bad. And you will have no shortage of work. The 4-year wait list is just blows my mind every time. I think it just goes to show, one, how backed up maintenance is in general, but two, how phenomenal you are as a mechanic and as a friend and a mentor to the industry. So we're very grateful to have people like you. There aren't enough. So thanks for coming on the show today.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm sure we'll catch up plenty more throughout the week. Here at AirVenture EAA, we want to thank all of the sponsors of the show. Did anyone end up finding Dan and Christy? I lost track of them. Oh, we found one of them. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Go check out the sponsors of the show. We could not put stuff like this on without them. And if you haven't been to AirVenture, go check it out. But also, if you haven't been down to your local airport to get involved, go do that too. And use code CHELS for anything Flying Eyes related.
Good. I need a new pair of glasses.
There we go. We got them right here. Thanks, Mike.